Hey, welcome to Everyday Reviews. First off, I apologize if there's any excess noise because we are right beside a very busy street. I just had this Tucson washed because we're in winter conditions. It was absolutely filthy, and I pulled in the very first parking lot that was available to film this so it wouldn't get any dirtier because there's a lot of salt on the streets and things, and it would just be really bad. So it's not perfectly clean. It's definitely a lot better than what it was. Well, you know, one of the most popular classes of vehicle is the compact SUV, and in that class, hey, the Hyundai Tucson is very, very popular. Why? Because it offers lots of utility, value, and multiple powertrain options. So today we're gonna give you our top 5 why buys for this Tucson Hybrid. This is the ultimate trim, by the way, which is the top of the line in the US. This would be considered the limited. So let's go. Number 5, and that is room and utility. Up front here, both front passengers have lots of good rooms, good visibility here. Shoulder room is good, it's comfortable, but there's also lots of storage and utility. You have the nice pockets in the door. On the center armrest, it's a very deep storage area, drink holders. You have a bridge type of console. It's got texture plus a divider or a ridge so things aren't going to mix around and fly around. A nice ledge, once again, with some dividers in front of the passenger. You want to put your phone or things like that. And you have your standard glove compartment. In the rear, lots of leg room. You got carve-outs for your knees in the front seat there. Good hip, good shoulder room. Headroom is really nice. You have this large panel roof, so it's nice and bright here. This Ultimate gets even heated rear seats. You have a nice armrest with drink holders, air vents, and USB-Cs as well. And if you want to get more comfy, these rear seats actually recline, and they recline quite a bit. We also get a hands-free power liftgate. Just stand outside with a key fob in your pocket, and after a few seconds, it'll beep and it'll actually open up for you. You have a nice wide opening underneath the floor, additional storage. If you want more, of course, just fold those seats down. You get an almost completely flat floor experience. Number 4, hey, the fact that this Ultimate or Limited is completely loaded. Like seriously, a decade ago, some of these features you maybe were able to find in a super high-end premium brand, but hey, you're getting everything thrown in with this Tucson Hybrid. Okay, things like a head-up display, a Bose audio system. You also get a dual 12.3-inch screens with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as onboard navigation. And those navigation turn-by-turns from any of those systems will display on your head-up display as well. That's a big deal. You also get leather seating surfaces, not leatherette. They are heated, they're ventilated. There's no massage though, but that's still pretty good. They're both power operated with a memory setting, a heated steering wheel on here. We get that panel roof. There's also digital key with this new system as well. We have a fingerprint scanner on this Ultimate here. What is that for? Well, you can actually just use your fingerprint to actually start the car and drive it. That's pretty wild. We have USB-Cs as well as wireless charging, and what I love is there's an indicator bar above the charging pad so you know what state your battery's in. Number 3, and that's the fact that this has a ton of safety and advanced driving assistance features. Things like, you know, active stop and go, highway drive assistant, even rear occupant alert with ultrasonic sensors on here. So it's not just it just senses that someone was sitting there. It can actually sense if someone's actually moving. So even something as minute as a baby breathing, it can actually sense that. That's cool. So also blind spot monitor in our driver's cluster. We actually have a display on the left and the right side. So when we turn our signal on, we can actually see right through and actually see what's on our blind spot there. That's very, very good. We actually have that on our Ioniq 5. Absolutely love that. And even remote smart park assist, which you can actually control the car with your key fob. You can parallel park with it. You can actually just pull it out of spots. And we've actually used it on ours. Not too often, but there are times when you pull in or there's a real tight spot and you want to actually go a little bit more toward a wall or something. You can actually just get out and just push it in there yourself and then pull it out when you're ready. So that's amazing. Number two, well, look at, we just fit through a very small opening. It is the ride quality and experience of driving this Tucson. You know, it's pretty easy to say. It's an easy car to drive. You know, whether you're for turning in tight spots with that 360 camera, the suspension is very compliant. The brakes are progressive. Gives you a lot of confidence. You know exactly what the vehicle is going to do. And yeah, it just doesn't beat you up. You ride up nice and high. It's a very, very easy car to drive. And I think if this is a daily driver, it's gonna be no problem for most people, for sure. And the number one why buy on my list for this Tucson Hybrid has to be the hybrid powertrain. So instead of that 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, you're getting a 1.6 liter turbo, and that's matched to a hybrid powertrain. So you have an electric motor, and that's going to bump up the horsepower up from 187 to 231 horsepower, so that's up 44 horsepower, and your torque goes up from 178 to 258 pound-feet. A couple other differences. This uses a 6-speed automatic transmission opposed to an 8-speed for that 2.5, and of course fuel economy is definitely going to be better. So basically it's the triple number. It's 6.7 for city, highway, and combined, and that's liters per 100K. I'll leave the miles per gallon right below here as well, which is very, very respectable. It's not quite as good as the Toyota RAV4, but you're getting more horsepower as well than that. In Canada, we only get all-wheel drive versions that come standard. In the US, you can get a 2-wheel drive version of the Tucson. We're gonna be entering the freeway right now. Now the power delivery is just so smooth on here. We have different modes. We can go sport mode, eco, or custom. Of course, now when we're in eco mode, we actually have paddle shifters on here, and these paddles act as regen levels, kind of like our electric car, except this is not an electric, well, not a pure electric car, that is. There is an electric component to this. And yeah, so that's what the paddle shifters are for. If you go into sport though, if we just go and switch over to sport, now these paddles now turn into shifting paddles now. So we can actually shift manually. Now it's not a DCT or dual clutch setup, but this is not a sports car. I just find that this transmission is ever so smooth, and you're always in the right gear. And this is another thing that people may gravitate toward. Other manufacturers, you go into a hybrid, you're gonna get into a continuously variable transmission or an eCVT, but this one is a conventional automatic, which is nice. But it doesn't have real hard shifts, it's smooth. Another beauty of the Tucson, just like the RAV4, but not all the vehicles in the compact SUV class have it, are 3 different powertrains. So we have a gas only, we have this hybrid, and if you want to spend $5,500 more in Canada, you can actually opt for the PHEV, so the plug-in hybrid. That's going to give you a bigger battery. You're going to get about just over 50 kilometers of range of EV only driving, but it's going to actually cost you a little bit more. So that's up to you. Now that is only an add-on in Canada for the top ultimate trim, so you can't add on a PHEV onto a lower trim. Make sense? Now we talked about the highway driving assistant. I can just turn that on. It's going to adjust my distance. I've got the little green steering wheel. I can adjust a little bit more, and look at this, I'm hands off right now. Now this is not a complete hands-free system. This is good for about, I'd say usually about 2 minutes, but it works very well. And every iteration just gets better and better and better, but you should always pay attention. There is a sensor in the middle that is actually going to track you to make sure that you're paying attention. But yeah, see, hands-free. In my head-up display, I can actually see my blind spots as well. When someone is coming up, I can see my distance. There's a lot of information in this head-up display. Love it. By the way, our real-world fuel economy numbers are about 8.3 liters per 100 kilometers in combined city and highway driving. Not as good as the posted 6.7, but hey, it's winter time. I've also been having the car running even a lot while I was filming even, things like that. So that's all going to affect the fuel economy. Overall, if you actually have the extra money, I would actually go for the hybrid. Seriously, this is the one that I would probably choose because not only are you getting more power and better fuel economy, you're getting like a premium experience with the ride. It is just, you know, you kind of associate luxury or premiumness with quiet and ride quality. As I mentioned, it's not crashy, it's very, very quiet, the power delivery is smooth, and you have all the creature comforts that you could pretty well ask for in a compact SUV for sure. In the compact SUV class, the top dog still is the Toyota RAV4, but vehicles like this Tucson Hybrid, they're catching up. Why? Well, the Koreans have been doing this for years. They've been offering a lot of value. You see, dollar for dollar, this actually goes for 50,000 Canadian dollars. That's including freight and destination, all the fees, and in Canadian dollars. A Toyota RAV4 Hybrid is essentially the exact same price. Pretty well the same exterior size, cargo area, in-cabin space is very, very similar. And in Canada, these only come in all-wheel drive. But with this one, you're getting a lot more features. You know, you have this remote smart park assist, you have the blind spot monitor, you have all leather interior, the head-up display, the fingerprint scanner, all of that for the same price. Plus, you're actually getting more horsepower. So yeah, more value there. But you know what, if you don't need all of that and maybe you're not that interested in a hybrid powertrain, you can save yourself a lot of money by going into just the regular preferred trim, which is the base trim with a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder with no hybrid powertrain, and that comes in around $37,000, so $13,000 less than this one, but you're still gonna get the same room, the same utility, even a power liftgate and standard all-wheel drive in Canada. So hey, the choice is yours. Hopefully this video may have helped you out, especially if you're in the market for a vehicle in this class. And yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Bye. Like always, if you enjoyed this video or any content on the channel, I have a lot of videos and not just automotive. We have tech, outdoor equipment, including robotic lawnmowers and snow blowers, and even travel, so something for everyone. I would really appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe button. It's completely free, and it allows me to continue creating more content like this for you. Hope to see you on the next video. Bye.